từ hướng bữa tu Pachia mình thấy đang sa để Baebu để Thawzung bữa nói Baebu Thawzung bữa nói nata chơi ya thì bữa đó mà hula cái gì ya cái phong linh nó mà hari so vậy để cái kia ya mình ta hula phong ngô để cô lan hula ya chơi ya mình ta hula chơi cái bắt từng cái để dù bữa đấy tập bự, mấy bữa đấy tập bự đấy tani là đấy, aku cái chỗ, bây giờ mình chơi, tôi Mino tôi cái chỗ đấy, anh tôi ha, hú cái rồi vào long ya, anh tôi thay thế vào đấy, aku cái chỗ ya, Miro đấy ha, slide đấy cái apa tengah ya, di dù bữa đấy, đừng nói cái hồi ya, Miro đấy, bảo hú là chỗ cái hú rồi, đấy, cái apa tengah vào hông, bé bố cái gì, hắn cho tự lấy cái mấy lấy có hỗ trợ lấy có mà vô mới rồi cái rồi Timothy cứ khi nào ta bali ta hỏi là ní mới rồi cái rồi nè hàng có mỗi thầu giống cái Mino là cái ta lừa mà giống cái Mino cái Paaw là mà giống cái người tu lừa chăm mà giống cái hình nó hơi giống cái lò của vô cái từ kia của vô béo vô to thôi nên cái tuổi em bỏ đem mà hula là cái tuổi cái thiên long nữa anh la của đó Joseph ấy hình nó đấy Samson ấy hình nó anh la của nè Joseph hình nó Samson hình nó đó pon đấy phong bỏ cái hôn nào vậy là Pachia nó hư thua bữa vô cả Joseph cái Pachia nó hư thua bữa Samson cái Pachia nó hư thua bữa nè Samson cái Joseph cái hythuanaw ka Pachia cái hythuanaw ka ama thưa hino ga amo hala ama ape pa tong to hala ama nửa thưa tong to pa de pi khono hala ama ta la de bo hola Samson do Pachia cái hythuanaw amwe sala ma Pachia ha thore Pachia cái thore wali de hythuanaw ka pokochin appreciate to wali de amor no la tong to thuanaw ga amor no la ama ge tu ye rất tinh là đô la thọ lại huế khử để Pachia long rồi tòng khử Pachia nó ever vô cả chú ý chỉ là khá bự là on để mấy bữa lại tiếp sau là so can you go back to the first slide yes so I prepared this Bible verse this is one of my favorite Bible verse so it's the first Timothy chapter 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. So I know this is no strange for anyone. I believe that. I think we put that on our t-shirt, back in, I don't know. So set example, I don't know if we did that, but when I was in Burma, we also had this little t-shirt set example. And so that you know this, you had big responsibility, right? So, one, I prepared this. There's two things come in my life, my mind. So, what does youth mean for yourself, right? In the Bible, we see so many figures like Stephen, Daniel, and Joseph, and Samson. So I select these two figures tonight so that we can study and we can learn about them, how they utilize their blessing that God gives throughout their life, right? So let's go to the second slide. So when we talk of blessings, right, in today's world, there's so many people that are gifted and that are being blessed. Like in sport worlds, everybody knows Steph Curry, the generational talents, right? And everybody knows Messi, Ronaldo. They're gifted, right? God blessed with talents, exceptional talents, right? And think about yourself too. God gave us a unique talent. You have your own talents, right? So you have your own blessings. And in the Bible too, in this Joseph, God gave him, God gave them the blessings. Samson the same thing. But let's study how they utilize blessing. So, number one, we're going to do the compare and contrast thing. So based on this, so we're going to compare about the blessing, the being faithful to God, and setting it an example through their life, right? Their blessing from God. Joseph, so as we all know, his ability to interpret dreams, we can find that in Genesis chapter 40 through chapter 41. And in Samson, on the other hand, he has this like massive, right, supernatural strength through his hair. And then we can find that in Judges chapter 13 through chapter 16. And then characters, Joseph is faithful, humble, and forgiving, and pure. On the other hand, Samson, he is rebellious, impulsive, prideful, and often immoral. The relationship with God, Joseph consistently acknowledged and obeyed God. Samson, he took God's gift for granted. On the other hand, disobedient, right? And then the use of God's gift, Joseph used it to save Egypt and his family from famine, right? Samson, on the other hand, used it mostly for personal revenge and self-gain. And the faith in God, Joseph remained faithful despite betrayal, slavery, prisons. So I did not go back. So we assume that we all know the story. So if we talk about the story, then how Joseph went through in his life that his brother sold into the slavery. And Samson, on the other hand, he compromised faith by engaging with the Philistine women. And an example to others, Joseph is a role model for in integrity and leadership, right? And Samson, on the other hand, is a warning. It's a warning example for a waste potential. You had your potential, and Samson, imagine that Samson used all his strength, all his gift, he used fully for the Israelites. What would be the outcome, right? The final outcomes that Joseph eventually elevated to power and saved many lives. And Samson, unfortunately, died with enemies, achieved some victory, right? A last minute victory, but his life, if we look at closer, his life filled with regret. Like, what if he chose his path differently? So, next slide. We're gonna study with 5 talking points, right? So your youth is not an excuse, and it's an opportunity. So Joseph was a teenager when he was sold into slavery, but he stayed strong throughout his life. He's strong in faith. Samson has a divine calling from birth. God had a big purpose for him, but he made reckless choice as a young man. So what's our takeaway here? Your age does not limit what you influence, your character and your choice do. And counting your blessings. Joseph recognized his gift of interpreting dreams came from God. We can find this in Genesis chapter 41:16. Samson, on the other hand, did not value his gift and broke his Nazirite vows, Judges 16:17. So I'd like to give you a homework, right? What is his Nazirite vows? Right, so when you go home, look it up. This is pretty important. It refreshed my mind again when I learned this in Sunday school, but I forgot a long time, and I read this one. Okay, this is so a homework for you when you go home. Check it out. What is the Nazirite vows? Our takeaway here is acknowledge your talents, use them honor God, not for yourself. Number 3 is be faithful in every season. Joseph was faithful in prison, in Pharaoh's court, and in power. He was faithful all the time. Samson's, the other hand, unfaithfulness led to trouble, loss, blindness, and imprisonment, right? He's not in jail, but he is that imprisonment. Our takeaway here is our faithfulness matters more than success. God honors those who remain loyal through trials, right? And number 4 is that purity in conduct matters. Joseph fled from Potiphar's wives to maintain purity. So here's one I want to focus on here. Like in our life, we face so many challenges, right? Your work, your school, your friends. What will you do if you are in Joseph's position? Not exactly the same situation, but you had a choice, and then you need to make one, right? Samson repeatedly compromised with ungodly relationships. So again, Samson, he misused his God's blessing, God's gift. So takeaway here is living pure set you apart as a leader and example. And the last point is set example, of course, even when it is difficult. Joseph's consistent integrity made Pharaoh's trust him with leadership. Joseph was basically a slave when he came to Egypt, but because he trusts God, his faith, and he eventually jumped the ladder and hold a position in leadership, right? And Samson, on the other hand, inconsistency cost his influence and honors. Our takeaway here is choose to be on the right side. Choose to be light even when others mock or misunderstand you. So our final takeaway for a young people today is recognize your blessings. So you may be gifted in music or in leadership or creativity, communication, whatever it is, always know that this is from God. All the blessings come from God. And stay faithful. Even when no one is watching, this is very important. Stay committed to living right. Choose to be right, right? Live with purpose. Do not waste your youth chasing with what fades. Invest what truly matters. So I read about this, I was doing my homework. One suggestion is in this era, social media, all those technology, when you post something online, and you don't have to say about Jesus all the time, but whatever you're posting, let them see Christ. So lastly is to be an example. In your speech, conduct, love, faith, purity, just like the Bible verse says, 1 Timothy chapter 4:12 said that whatever you do, set an example. Be an example. May God bless you.